Yo, guys. So just a quick update before I start the video. No one ever claimed the prize again, of course. So what I did last time was I reserved a couple rolls. So I did a couple rolls, and I ended up rolling on number 79. And the person that it landed on, 79, I know for a fact watches all my videos. He's a big fan of the channel, and he's been around since like almost the beginning. I'm pretty sure the beginning. So I was hyped that this landed on it because yeah, I honestly thought it was gonna take I was gonna have to find a completely different way to just do this. So you know what? It finally landed on someone that has been respective of the channel and has always been around, and just great to see this guy commenting and stuff. So yeah, let's turn the camera around and see who number 79 is. You guys ready? Ooh. Yassine. Bro, Yassine, you are the winner of the Ultimate Rare Halka Fibrax and the Mad Dude. I'm hyped for you, dude. You've been around for a while, and yeah, when I seen it landed on you, I was actually like, holy crap, no way. So yeah, you're well deserving of this, man. You've been a loyal member to the family, like a lot of you guys have. But it was just great to know it landed on someone I can finally give this stuff away to, right? So yeah, Yassine, enjoy yourself, man, and just whenever you comment down below, man, I'll just reply back to you with like a place you can contact me, probably just my Facebook, and you can just message me contact info, and I can ship that stuff out to you, bro. So yeah, hopefully sometime this week I can get that to you. But you watch my videos on the regular, so yeah, it's good to know that. So yeah, you see, man, congrats to you. You've been a long time member of this channel. So yeah, job well done, dude. Thanks to everyone who's just been around. Eventually, when I hit 10,000 subscribers, my brother and I hit 10,000, we'll probably do like a giveaway where you give away like 10 things to 10 different people. I think that sounds pretty fair, right? So, and I'm not sure when that is. Like, I don't know when if we ever even hit 10,000, but yeah, guys. So, yeah, again, congrats to you again, Yassine. Just before I get into the video, though, just want to let you guys know I filmed this like pretty late last night, which I was mentioning. I was a little bit tired, so like some of the things I may have said may not have made sense. I think it all makes sense. I did watch it over once quick, so it looked fine. So yeah. So enjoy the deck profile. This is going to be the deck profile you're going to want to be looking forward to for this upcoming format. So yeah. Anyways, I'm just going to continue on my lunch from my real estate stuff. So yeah, I'll take care. Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Jacked by Joe here today, and today we're coming at you with post Battles of Chaos DDDs, but there's a turn on this. The cards are in real life finally. No more proxies, no more dueling book. This is just in real life. We finally got them after 4 months. It just feels so good to actually play with these cards in person, and just now that they're legal, it almost feels like it's unfair. I just know the deck so well, and it's just like whenever I play against people, it's like the decks right now just will have a hard time just keeping up with the boards this deck can put out if they don't have like a response. Like cards like Dark Ruler and Nibiru are not popular right now, especially game one. So if you're going first and you go untouched, you're winning the game. You cannot lose the game. It's the board you put out is just too detrimental for decks right now to deal with. And the crazy part about this deck is like even going second, this deck breaks boards like no tomorrow. Like I'll give you examples, but like this deck like easily puts out Zeus, like can like force Zeus twice. Like if you're playing against like Prank Kids and they have double Butler, you can easily if you have a good hand, you can easily force out Zeus twice and then proceed to just do your 2-card combo with like your XYZs and just go from there. This deck is just nuts, and it just deals with control decks as well, like so dang well because of High King Genghis, like stuff like that, right? And Orthros, and just on top of that, like the side games 2 and 3, playing cards like Allure, just digging for your side deck cards. This deck is insane, and no one's really prepared for it. I'm telling you guys right now, if this deck sees a decent amount of representation and gets the representation it deserves, this deck is easily tier 2. This deck just performs so well, and it's just almost unfair against certain decks right now in the meta. But yeah, guys, so I'm a little bit tired. I just had my locals, and it was a bit weird because I wasn't playing it initially because Battle of Chaos wasn't gonna be a thing. And then right at the last, like literally just as the tournament was starting, the guy was like, "Okay, you can play, but there's no prizing. Like if you get first, it just doesn't. Nothing happens." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." Like so, I just played just for fun. I ended up just getting to the finals, and I only lost in time because we were kind of just casually playing. And by the time was called, I was actually just about to just break his board because he had no interruptions. I was about to build a huge board, and I would have just won.
So I technically won my locals the first time around. But yeah, it is what it is. It wasn't competitive at all. It's our locals, but like I'm talking about the last game, like just because I wasn't playing for anything, right? It is what it is. But this deck just annihilated. Like this deck is just stupid good. Anyways, guys, I want to be able to showcase you guys how good this is. So, like I said, I'm a little bit tired. So, how about we just dig right into this deck profile? Because I think a lot of you guys are looking towards what I am playing. So, I'm going to be showcasing you my deck list that I will be playing, recommendations on what you could play over certain things, my side deck, and I'm going to do a few test hands to show you how I think while I'm playing. Like you guys have seen like my combo videos and stuff, but this is going to give you like a good idea, a general grasp of like how I see it. Like I've done these before, but like just test hands, like seeing like what I can evaluate out of certain hands that can help you guys see what I see. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into that, and I'll see you down on my Trishul and that. So see you in a sec. Okay, guys. So I'm gonna try to get through this. Like I said, I'm a little bit tired, and I've got a decent amount of stuff I need to get done tomorrow. So I don't really want to film this any other time of the week. So I'm gonna do this now. So yeah, you guys want to see the deck list? It's a new deck list, so yeah, I will get right into it. New ratios, new go in second cards, new hand traps. I gotta find a way to play for the meta, so I decided for the ratios that I'm comfortable with and what I'm gonna be playing. So on to the main deck. We're gonna start off 3 Keplers. Kepler, I don't have to explain it. It's a 1-card combo on its own if you're playing the Rage package, which I'll get into later. Keplers, you have to play Kepler, obviously. 3 Swirl Slime. So Swirl Slime is your best. It's on par with Griffin. This card, you can't play any less than 3. This card alone forces out so many boards because Zeus is a thing. This deck has such easy access to Zeus. If you have this and like combo in hand, you're playing through like 5 interruptions. Like going second, this is just nuts. Like it's like get rid of this, summon a fusion. If you already have access to another fusion, you can just do that again, and then you Zeus a board, and then like you can normal summon. If your normal summon happens to your normal summon, you can just banish this, summon another card in your hand, special Griffin, continue combo. This card just gives the deck another extender, access to Zeus. Oh my gosh, Swirl Slime just like got like a huge boost with the new stuff. Definitely helps this deck just push through boards, and just going first, it's just awesome, right? So on to the next 3 DD Griffin, 3 DD Copernicus. So these are your 2 main combo pieces here, right? Griffin and Copernicus is your 2-card combo. If it goes through, you are not losing the game. They could drop it to you for 3. That at that point they neg pretty hard, and you still have a headhunt. If you use your headhunt wisely, you're probably just gonna win the game. Yeah, because at that point they're gonna have to neg 3 cards, and plus whatever else you set up in your back row you have for a hand trap. It's just gonna be impossible for them to deal with pretty much. Griffin is, oh my god, Griffin is. I can't believe how good Griffin is. The more time goes on, the more this card is just absurd. You can use easily 3 of his effects in one turn, like all 3 of them. And his pendulum effect is just awesome because it combos so well with Thomas. Because if you're short on a level 4, you just scale this with Thomas. As long as you have a contract, you just pendulum summon out with the Copernicus, pop this, recycle it back with Thomas, reveal, special summon. This card is just nuts. And then you just have rank 4 plays all day. This card is just bonkers, man. I've showcased in my combo video like the 2-card combo you can do with just straight up a Necro Slime and a Gate, and it literally gives you Headhunt. Just because of that's a play, it literally gives you Headhunt, the rank 6, and the XYZ. It's just with the link on board. Griffin, oh man, Griffin is just way too good. Reviving it from the graveyard is just crazy too, and being able to search anything. So yeah. So going on to Orthros, playing 2 Orthros. So a lot of people, some people are planning, a lot of people, like a lot of the competitive players are trying to get into this, want to play this at 1, and that's completely fine. I think Orthros, there's no problem with playing at 2. Spoiler alert, I do play Allure. That's kind of the reason why I want it at 2, because then it's just an easy Allure target, but at the same time, being a level 4 Pendulum is not bad when Griffin can just special summon itself, and then you're off to the races with a rank 4 play. It's still Headhunt the rank 6 and the Machina, so like that's strong enough to beat out any board pretty much. So Orthros at 2 is completely fine, and the cool thing too is that with the Baron play, Already having him in your hand can reserve your Griffin search, so it just kind of has like all positives. Like this card really isn't bad in your hand unless you open it with a bunch of one-ofs like a Typhon, and like it just bad at that point, right? But you should be seeing something like a Griffin, right? But reserving your Griffin search for something that isn't Orthros is really good when you're trying to do the Baron combo, right? Because you just normal summon this, summon Baron, your 5th summon. Griffin either adds the Copernicus or the Headhunt. If you can add Headhunt because you already have access to the Necro Slime, it's just actually crazy. It just makes the stupidest board. So yeah, two Orthros. I'm gonna leave it at 2. I don't want to change it at 2. I think that's perfect ratio for me. So going on to the one-ofs for monster count that aren't pendulums. 1 Lamia, 1 Necro, 1 Vice Typhon. I think this is correct. 1 Lamia is it's still a useful utility. It gives the deck another option. There is combos where you can just use this to afterwards you just summon the you can summon D-Arc, and then this can summon itself and make a Siegfried. But at the same time, this card is just great to extend. Like it just gives the deck that one last push to get into Gilgamesh, which is very useful. Necro Slime. I decided to bump it down to 1. It didn't make sense to play 2 of this and 1 Typhon. I just found it was just too much, and I found like in the games I never ever needed Necro Slime on the follow up. If anything, I already burned through all my fusions other than my D-Arc. So there's really no point of having the second one. And if you're worried about banishing this off of Allure, it won't come up, because if you have to banish this off of Allure, it means your hand's just really not playable. It is what it is, right? And then Typhon's there because I think Typhon's just super useful because this deck doesn't necessarily have the ease of access to like Necro Slime can't really in this deck. It's really hard for Necro Slime to just make the level 8 Genghis, the High King Genghis. So this makes it a lot easier. So you can like trigger High King and Necro Slime. It just makes a lot of combos that I've showcased previously live. So Typhon, I think, you definitely need to play it. It just makes life a lot easier. It's not really a brick, like I said. You can just ditch this off of a Griffin. So yeah, it's really not bad. I'd say the worst card in the 3 of these here is Lamia for this build, but I won't cut Lamia just because it's that one of Extender, and it does come up to summon Siegfried, right? So for the pendulums here, so Thomas, Ragnarok, and then Cerberus, Rage. So Thomas and Ragnarok, no need to explain this. Thomas is just great utility. Even if you're not playing Kali-Yugi, you still need to play this because it makes a lot of combos live and makes some tough situations really good. Like I was saying earlier, you can just pop Griffin, recycle it, and there's also a combo where you can scale to both of these. If you open, if you open Kepler and Swirl Slime, which I don't think a lot of people are familiar with, what you do is you just normal summon Kepler, grab Griffin, special Griffin, link these 2 off, summon Gilgamesh, scale these 2. Thomas effect recycles the Griffin. Then you use Swirl Slime effect to fusion summon, which summons a Genghis, and then this triggers, recycles the Genghis or the Griffin. Griffin then adds the Copernicus, and then you have the rank 4 play because you normal summon Copernicus, Foolish Burial, and you're off to the races. I was not the one that came up with that combo. The one that came up with the combo, like I said, I mentioned this previously, but he's a Japanese player. I seen that and I thought that was just really cool take on the, rather than just seeing the pendulum plays the whole time. It's just like you can still scale cards and fusion summon and just use them to trigger like special summon effects. It was pretty nice combo. So yeah. Last thing to mention about these is that DD Cerberus and the Rage. So not everyone's going to agree with this. I completely understand why, but here's my take on it. So I like having as many combo options as possible because it gives me that sense that I can play through more things. And these are really not that bad to open because, for one, going second, this is just another card that if I'm playing against, like, Tri-Brigade is going to be popular in this format, and so is Prank Kids. Prank Kids that don't know this deck, you can start your fusion plays off, and then if they don't flip Pandemonium, you just summon your big Genghis using a level 5 or higher, which would be this guy, and their plays are shut off. They can't Pandemonium. You're basically just good to play. Another thing too is that Rage. Rage turns out all hand traps, so you play around Nibiru very easily with Rage, and it's just a very easy way to play around Nibiru with the cards you have access to now. But at the same time, like I said, like, yes, you can think about this combo as like the 1-card combo Kepler, right? But the thing is, like, when you're grinding, sometimes it can actually be like hands where, like, after you've like tried to push through a decent amount of things, you really only have access to like a level like you have to do a level manipulation when you set these. You have to get to a level manipulation somehow to make the XYZ, because the rank 4 is kind of like the heart of a lot of your plays, right? So I think it's just really worth it playing these. And like I said, they're really not bricks, because any pendulum level 4 plus just Griffin alone is essentially just combo. It's still Headhunt rank 6 and the XYZ, the Machina. So I think it's just really worth it. And Rage on the follow-up is just nuts too. I really like these two, so I'm not going to cut them for now. I really like just having them. And they're easy alert targets if you really need to, so yeah. So that puts those guys in their place. And then, so for the hand traps, the only monster hand trap I'm playing is Lancia. So Lancia, I think a lot of people picked up on this right now. Lancia, it shuts out pretty much every deck that's going to be dominant in this format. So the most anticipated decks right now are, I would say, Prank Kids. So I'm going to label off the first deck that's really not going to be effective against this. Prank Kids, Virtual World, Purple Rain deck, Purple deck. So I said Virtual World, Phantom Knights, and I don't know what the other deck is, but I can't think off the top. I'm kind of tired, not gonna lie. So yeah, but every deck right now. Oh, Sword Soul. I don't know how I forgot that. Sword Soul Tenyi. So if you're going second against like Sword Soul Tenyi, or if Sword Soul Tenyi's going second, they have a pretty good. They can break boards pretty well. I mean, your board can very easily handle their effects to summon themselves, and then Headhunt's just a crazy card in general. But if you have Lancey on top of that, they can't play. They just can't play. Their Tenyi cards don't matter. They can't like Prosperity or Desires. Like, it's just bad for them. So Lancia and, oh yeah, Invoke too. So it shuts out, and Invoked and Tri-Brigade. So it shuts out every deck. It shuts out every deck in the meta, including this. I think DDs are going to be part of the meta at some point. So it just shuts out everything other than Prank Kids. So I think it's really worth playing. But another cool thing you can play too that came up today that we were talking about, Skullmeister. So Skullmeister, these could be Skullmeisters. So if you own Skullmeisters, you could actually give it a try. I don't own Skullmeisters, but Skullmeister is really good this format, and I think it's slept on because it stops an effect, special from, or it stops any effect that's activating the graveyard. And the reason why that's nuts is because it's not once per turn, and it's also a level 4 Fiend, Dark Fiend. So it really, really synergizes well with the deck. You can't pendulum summon it because after you've used Gilgamesh, you're locked into DDs. But it could still come up where you could use him for a rank 4. If you haven't normal summoned, you can just normal summon him and use him for Caesar, because Caesar needs a level 4 Fiend. So I think Skullmeister is really worth trying in this deck if you have it. But at the same time, Lancia is just so worth it because it stops your opponent from playing, unless they're playing Prank Kids. So yeah, Lancia probably until the new stuff comes out for the fusion deck, Albaz. I think this is going to be a staple in the main deck. So yeah, I'm keeping Lancia in just for Scenic Thought. So onto the spells for the contracts. This should be standard. So yep, this is the new contract. This is Patent License, 1 Swamp King, 3 Gate. So this is standard. I don't really have to go over this. You can play more than one of this if you want, but at that point you're just incorporating more bricks. So I really don't think you should. It rarely ever comes up where I'm actually going to be able to grab this and place it in my scale unless I hard open it. The main reason why it's here is to just recycle, but again, my field zone. But the main reason why it's here is because I can set it to graveyard on my 2-card combo and just recycle. And there's really weird scenarios where you can actually just send this and just recycle cards in the grind games. So yeah, this card is very useful at 1. I don't think you need more than it. But again, this is going to be good against Phantom Knights and stuff, because Phantom Knights, if they have to deal with your whole board and then you have this face up, they really can't do anything. A lot of decks, right, like Sword Soul, if you have a synchro, it makes it hard for them. Then you just suck up their 1 synchro with Headhunt, and they can't synchro summon anymore. That's what's kind of crazy about this, is that if you have Headhunt and this, they try to do their 1 summon, and then you can just Headhunt it, and then it's negated. It comes to your side, and then they still have to deal. They still can't summon anything, and then it's just crazy. Very good combination of the cards if it comes up, but it really ever does. I always end up sending that to the grave, but we'll see the more tournaments I play. So for consistency, I'm just running 3 Allure. The reason why I explained why I don't like Piri in my last. You've seen firsthand why Piri just isn't a good card. It is a good card, but I don't think it's good in this deck because you burn too much life points. It's just too costly, and then you typically have 2 contracts. So if they stay up, if they find a way to keep your contracts up, you're just losing on the follow-up. I think it's just too risky. But like I said, I showcased in that one tournament, the Sneaky tournament, that it actually just like ended up burning me. Yes, I could have played around it, but you know what? I didn't really see it after getting around a Prankage combo Prankage board. So yeah, I'm just not used to playing Puri. So the reason why Allure is a lot better in my opinion is because this digs through your deck and it's not once per turn. So games 2 and 3, this will grab you Evenlies. This will grab you your Chalices, your Cyclones. It just really helps going into games 2 and 3. So yeah, and it's a good side out card too if you're playing against Fan Knights and they're just going to use their stuff and draw on standby. So yeah. So speaking of that deck, we're playing triple Chalice, 2 Cyclone, and 1 Call by the Grave. So yeah, on top of the Lanciers, we found a way to fit 9 cards in. That's why I decided to just cut the Necro Slime down to 1. Chalice is just so good. None of these are once per turn. This is at 1 anyways, but I mean, none of these are once per turn, which makes it really good. Cyclone is such a good interruption card this format. It literally hinders everything right now. Cyclone is just devastating. If someone Cyclones you in this deck and they hit your Penium scale, it actually really hurts. So yeah, Cyclone is just a very good interruption in general and just very good spot removal. It's very strategically played card too because it's a quick play and you banish 1 card, right? So it's very good against Eldritch. And then Chalice isn't a once per turn. Like I said, like Chalice turns out Butler. It forces out the Butler. It forces out Scythe, DPE. It forces out, oh my god, it forces out Appaloosa against Dry Brigade. Nothing puts out a strong enough board right now. So you basically just by turning, Chalice is like so effective right now, just doing a huge 1-for-1 trade-off with their main interruption on board. So it's just good like that. And then Call by the Grave is very good defensively, but it's also great going second because you can get rid of Meow Meow, you can get rid of the Battle Butler if they decide to tribute it. It just effectively gets rid of that card after it gives them like the 1 Regeki pretty much, and this gets rid of Scythe too, right? And then if people are Manic and Lancia, this just stops Lancia, so you need something to answer, right? So. And yeah, I don't really have to explain much about those. They're just going to be crazy cards this format. Last one of 1-for-1 for the spells. Don't need to explain it since it's a 1-card combo in this deck as well. And the last card, DD Headhunt. So yeah, this card looks exactly like when it's proxied. But Headhunt is, oh my god, this card alone is just messed up. And when you pair it with your whole board, it just I've never felt so comfortable with a board in my life. Like I just sit there and it's like if they don't have like a way to like if they don't have a board breaker card like oh my god, like Forbidden Droplets. Yeah, Forbidden Droplets, you're turning them out. Like you can't lose the game. I've never had them break my combo if they don't have something like a Droplets or something. So yeah. So that wraps the main deck up, 40 cards exactly. So let's get into the extra deck here. So for the fusions, so double Genghis, 1 D-Arc, 1 High King Genghis. A lot of people are questioning why I play D-Arc. I think it's still, I personally like D-Arc because it gives me more routes to play. And like I said, if you have access to, if the combo that has the Kepler and the Swirl Slime, you actually need D-Arc for it. So D-Arc's used for some interesting scenarios, but D-Arc also just comes up a lot too. So I actually like having the D-Arc, and it doesn't really take up any space in the extra deck too. So I think it's just worth playing. I don't have to explain the Genghises, that's very standard ratio. So let's go on to the synchros now. Baron, Siegfried. If you can't afford Baron, just play Alexander. Baron's just a way to play around Nibiru. You rarely ever summon on the follow-up, but it's more so if you can summon him on the 5th summon kind of deal with using the Orthros. That's all he's there for. And Siegfried, I don't have to explain it. So yeah, if you can't afford Baron, just play the High King Alexander. That's all you gotta do. So next for the XYZs, so double Machine X and Caesars and the Zeus. So this is what makes this deck nuts now. So okay, so basically you have to play 2 Machine X if you're playing the pure. You go into 2 of them going second pretty easily because the thing that this deck's amazing at doing is just fusion summoning for 1 monster. Like fusion summon like a Genghis, or also you just go like Machina, and then you just go battle phase, swing, and then Zeus, clear board. It's very easy on just pushing out, and that can happen like twice in a turn where you just fusion summon, there's like crap, I gotta do something. Machine X is like so overpowered, and this card against certain decks, like a Dragon Link deck, cannot deal with this card. They use their effects, you just keep sucking them up. So he standalone is just nuts. If he stays on board too on the follow up while you have the Ragnarok in scale, it's game over. Your opponent cannot win. Because it just too many things happen. Your fall's just crazy. You need these for sure. Caesar's like an insane boss monster, especially now, and going forward he's just gonna be nuts. And Zeus, I just described Zeus. This deck can make a four material Zeus no problem. If you want to, you can just go like rank 4, summon the Caesar, summon King Tell. You don't even have to like do this actually. You can just be like summon the Machina, go into Zeus, and then clear board. And then if you find a way after you do that to revive the Caesar, then you can just jump on the King Tell and just continue there. So yeah, so this is all very standard, I think, for the pure build. So moving on, triple Gilgamesh. So 3 Gilgamesh is obviously standard. I wouldn't recommend playing 2 because a lot of combos that I do are like through the grind. The third one always comes up, so I will not bump this down. I think that's just standard. So yeah, 15 card extra deck, of course. So let's move on to the side. So side, this is what I'm anticipating is going to be good for this format. So we got Nibiru's and we got Ghost Bells. So these are the extra hand traps I put in. So Nibiru is still going to be good if you compare it with something. But if they don't have access to the Brave token engine, your opponent kind of just loses. So you won't side in Nibiru too often, I don't think, but it is very impactful, obviously, if they don't have access to the Brave token or that you just have something to pair with it. So it kind of like works hand in hand on the chances, right? So, and then Ghost Bell is super good right now. You can side this in against Eldritch. You really can side this in against Prank Kids, for sure against so Prank Kids, Eldritch, and then Phantom Knights for sure. Phantom Knights, this again just stops Scythe from summoning. So Ghost Bell is just really good. And then if you open two Ghost Bells, you can stop Phantom Knights from doing certain plays on their turn, and then when it comes around, you can just hit a Ghost Bell on their Scythe. You really don't want the Scythe resolving, right? So that's kind of why we're going Ghost Bell, but really good into Prank Kids and Eldritch going forward. Virtual World is really good against too. It's like an Ash Blossom against them, so yeah. So now we're going on to Twin Twisters. So again, the reason why I'm playing Twisters is because we can now finally afford to discard. This is typically in here for it could be Sword Soul because 10E, because going second they could set 2 cards. If you Twisters them, they lose their whole back row. You just gotta deal with like maybe 1 interruption realistically and 1 hand trap. That's nothing for our deck. But Twin Twisters is very good going into going up against Prank Kids because it just gets rid of their stuff in the standby phase. And if they have to Kobo and stuff, it just deals with it, right? So yeah, so Twin Twisters, also for back row hate, so evenly matched. And I'll just throw this, yeah, I'll just keep these here. So you know what, I'm just gonna throw all this down here. So there we go. So evenly matched is good into a lot of combo decks, but also against like Eldritch. If they can't respond with Eldritch, they just lose, especially against you. When you can just build up a whole board. I mean, what are they going to do on 1 card, right? And no hand. The third Cyclone's here, just a side in. Reboots here because skill range is going to be at 3. You really need to be playing red reboot this format. And Errors. So Errors is really good against Eldritch. The reason being is because yeah, sure, they can like chain and stuff, but you wait. What you do is like, if you're going first, they set 5 pass. I think they're sick, and then you have this set because you searched it or you opened it. You go, and then eventually at some point they try to go like do their Eldritch plays, and all of a sudden you just flip this card. It just shuts everything out. Like they can flip a skill drain or something, whatever. Doesn't matter. It'll be negated, and then once you're just going to be negating both their the Sanguine and the Conquistador and stuff. And you can just do it on and off. It basically just assures you the game against trap decks, and it's searchable. So, so this can be a balance between this or the other contract, the Eternal Darkness. If you think you're going to be playing against more combo decks, you just have to find a way to keep a card in scale. Some combos won't rely on that, but being able to shut your opponent out of like Tribute Summoning, Full Wanderees, XYZ Summoning, or Synchro Summoning, it's really strong, right? So yeah. Okay, so that felt like forever, but yeah, that was the deck profile, guys. So what I want to do now is I want to walk you guys through not combos. I want to walk you guys through a test. I'm going to do a couple test hand. I might just do one test combo to showcase you what I was talking about earlier. But yeah, let's just go right to that. Okay guys, so this is the combo I want to showcase you guys. Again, I've shouted this guy out in my last thing. I usually do take credit for like most of my combos that I come up with, but this was again from a Japanese guy. I sent a link in my last video to him doing this combo. Like I said, I really like this combo, and I feel like a lot more people need to know about this. So I'm just gonna go ahead and demonstrate it now. So you're gonna normal summon Kepler. You're gonna use the effect. And like I said, guys, like I always say this, like people that make like combos should always be accredited for it. It would definitely feel bad if you made something up and then a lot of people just steal it and then you just don't get credit for it, right? So it's always, you should always give credit where it's due, right? So Gate's gonna search the Griffin. Griffin's gonna use effect special summon. You're gonna synchro LOL. You're gonna link to. You're gonna go to a Gilgamesh. So now that I'm doing combos, I'm just gonna stick a field center here. So Gilgamesh is going to use the effect, and like I said, since your brain's so hardwired to just doing Gilgamesh set scales and just like pendulum summon in this build, this is kind of like a cool take on it because it kind of just like makes you think differently, right? So you're going to burn 1,000, you're going to scale Ragnarok and Thomas, and you're going to go effect of Thomas to recycle the Griffin. Again, you need to be playing Thomas, card just nuts. A lot of people at the beginning were wondering why I was playing Thomas, or kind of give me a hard time about it. It's like, dude, like just play the deck and you'll understand. Like it just comes up too much. So Griffin Swirl, they're gonna fusion summon. So you're gonna go ahead and summon the Genghis. Genghis' summon is gonna trigger the Ragnarok. It's gonna summon the Griffin. Griffin effect now, since you haven't used Griffin's graveyard effect, is gonna summon or grab you Copernicus. You're gonna banish the Swirl Slime. You're going to special Copernicus. Copernicus is going to use the effect. You're going to Foolish Burial the Necro Slime. Here it is. Foolish the Necro Slime. You're going to overlay these two. You're going to go for the Caesar. You're going to go for a Link 2 here. So you're not going to go into the Quintel yet. You're just going to link these two off. You're going to go into a Gilgamesh. And you're going to use Caesar's effect here. So Caesar's going to use the effect and grab the field spell. So you're gonna have the field spell in hand. I'll just activate it for now. Don't use the effect yet. Just keep it out of the way. So Necro Slime will use the effect. I'm gonna use this, and actually, you know what? I'm gonna use Gilgamesh. It's always good to keep your low scales engraved, so Machina can just throw them in the pendulum zone. But I mean, you're gonna have full pendulum zones after this, so I'm gonna go ahead and fusion summon for the second copy of Genghis. So this copy of Genghis now will trigger, and you're gonna revive this, the Caesar. And what you're gonna do is, before you do anything, you're gonna overlay these two. They would Nibiru here because they see the rank 6 play. But if not, hey, whatever. Nibiru's not very popular right now anyways. You're gonna overlay for Quintel. Quintel's gonna use the effect, burn him for 1,000. And then you're gonna go effect of Swamp King. So you're gonna use Quintel. And you might as well just use the Copernicus here. And you're gonna summon the D-Arc here. So you're gonna summon D-Arc now. You're gonna use Quintel's effect of Foolish Burial. You're gonna send the Lamia here. So this combo might help keep you guys on the fence on playing D-Arc and Lamia still. And then you're gonna use Lamia's effect. You're gonna send this special summon. You're gonna use these two. And you're gonna summon the Siegfried, and you're gonna overlay for the Machine X. So guys, that's all through Swirl Slime and Kepler. I've had it come up once in tournament setting, but like I said, that's a very common instance where it could happen. Just because you can usually pair those cards with a lot of other things. But if you can't, and it's happened to me once already, this is your end board. It doesn't look too crazy like when you see the first two cards, but yeah, this is, I think, something that a lot of people need to be made aware of. So yeah. Shout out to that guy. Like I said, I've linked him in my last video. I'll probably just link him again here. So that combo video. So yeah. So on to some test hands. I'll probably do about 3 of them because I'm a little bit tired. So yeah, we'll see you there. All right, guys. So let's do a couple test hands and see how consistent this deck really is. So I know for first-hand fact that this deck is ridiculously consistent. the worst case scenario is that like you might die to like obviously an imperm. Sometimes imperm can hurt. A lot of people are still gonna be playing imperm, but I feel like it's gonna slowly go down for other more reactive cards, like maybe a chalice. It's always hard to tell in the beginning of the format. Like I mean, when we had Burst of Destiny come out, it took like actual ages for everyone to finally like figure out what they wanted to play in their deck because the meta just kept changing. But now it's a little bit different. I mean, you can kind of see what's going on. And I think Imperm is going to drop down a little bit in popularity, but it also depends how popular this is going to get because Imperm can effectively just shut you out sometimes. So, yeah. So, I think this is a good enough shuffle, and we'll see what we get. So, draw 5. So, you know what? I like usually when I do that, my hand's just bad. So, I'm going to go like this 2, 3, 4, 5. So, this is a great hand. This hand is like amazing. So, Lancia. So what you guys can see here is I can go 1 for 1. Obviously, I want to ditch the Necro Slime. I want Necro Slime Engrave, of course. This searches Kepler. Kepler grabs me a the Copernicus, and I just go through my 2-card combo while I have Lancia. So I can just go 1 for 1 here, pitch the Necro Slime, and do the 2-card combo. So I'm gonna just go Kepler effect search, Ash. I don't care because I can still do. See, and then if they imperm or something and you have a hand like this is where I'm saying the 1-card combo will come up because all you do is you just go like, okay, this gets impermed. It's a beta at least anyways, so you can still do plays. You special the Griffin, go for the plays, and it comes up a lot, guys. It actually does. The level manipulation has probably came up for me 3 to 4 times in the 2 tournaments I've played already. So, where I would have actually, like, if you're not playing the level manipulation, your turn just kind of ends here, you know what I mean? So, well, not necessarily, actually, if you think about it. I have the, like, I showcased the Thomas play. At the same time, you couldn't special Griffin again because, you know what I'm talking about. Like, if I were to grab it back with Thomas, I can't just special it back out because I have nowhere, I can't do it, right? So, nothing engraved to special it back out. So, again, so Gates can use the effect to search. Of course, with this hand, I want to search Copernicus. And now all you have to do is go special summon Griffin and use these 2. And we're going to go for the Gilgamesh. Now we're going to go Gilgamesh effect here. If they want to imperm us, that can happen, you know. It is what it is. What you can do here, if they imperm you, obviously you can always just slap on Machina. But this is kind of why Lammy is nice if they imperm you. Like I said, it's like a last resort extender. Lammy would send this. You send this for costs. Go ahead, you'd special summon the Arc, and that makes a Siegfried Machina. Not bad, you know what I mean? So, but this isn't going to be the case. Like I said, I just want to showcase you guys test hands here, like uninterrupted. So this all goes back in the hand, and we're going to scale our homies. So this is like the 2-card combo, like I was saying earlier. So Orthros is going to go on the scale, and so is Ragnarok, and I get over 1,000. And so we have these in hand. Just gonna try to, it's hard to make space when you're playing Pendulum deck, but yeah. So we're gonna go Pendulum Summon 2, and we're gonna use Griffin effects as Chain Link 2, Copernicus Chain Link 1. So we're gonna resolve the Griffin first. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just a Necro Slime and draw. So that's a bit of a weird draw because Copernicus is going to foolish, right? But Orthros, you actually want to send this with the XYZ, but it's okay because we have the Lammy, and I'll show you what happens. So this is kind of like a cool instance where if I actually do draw this and I want to foolish it, we can save the day, right? So what I might do here, since I already have a bunch of cards, I'm either going to send the Typhon. I'm probably going to just send the Typhon just in case like maybe Nibiru happens, I can still keep playing. So I'm going to send the Typhon. Now I'm going to overlay. Typhon again was sent with Copernicus, and the draw was patented license, like I was saying earlier. Go into a Caesar, go into a King Tell. Someone mentioned like you can just do this combo with just using the 1 Gilgamesh. I personally like just going, I play 3 Gilgamesh, so I just like doing summoning the second one because Gilgamesh is just food for my Necro Slime. It's easy food for Necro Slime, right? So yeah, and I just have another one on standby, so it's pretty good. So I'm going to burn my opponent for 1,000 here. And what I can do here is I can go like Orthros effect pop. And then King Tell effect. So King Tell can now just start foolishing cards I don't need, aka I'll Swirl Slime. So Swirl Slime is amazing on the follow-up because I can just search out like a Rage or something, banish this, kill my opponent. Then what I can do here is I can scale the Patent License because I want to get Orthros back. I can go Lamia Effect, just by sending the Patent License, just special summoning itself. License Effect will recycle the Orthros. See, that's kind of where this, you just, basically Lamia's just going to foolish this. So Lamia comes up, right? Like, I mean, Lamia's just a really good utility card. So we're going to go ahead, use Necro Slime here, Fusion Summon. And we're going to go ahead, Fusion Summon. I'm just doing the 2-card combo here to keep things simple. So summons Genghis. Ragnarok Effect will trigger. We're going to target special summon the Griffin. Genghis Chainlink 1 is going to target the Caesar. Chainlink 2 Griffin add. Chainlink 3 Orthros, since we burn, we can special summon it. That's why you want to get Orthros in your hand. And we're going to just grab DD Headhunt. So now we can just use these right away. We're going to go for the Siegfried. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize I kept that in the graveyard. So we're now, so yeah, this was summoned off of the Genghis. We're going to summon the Siegfried. And we can actually just leave this out for another link. So we're going to go for the link play here. Then we're going to use Caesar effects. So hand over here, we're going to grab the Fusion Spell. Fusion Spell effects. We can banish a lot of things here. Typhon's not going to be worth anything on the follow-up, so I'm just going to actually get rid of it here. We're going to get rid of these two. And we're going to go ahead and summon the other copy of the Genghis. I'm going to go ahead, overlay. There's no point of summoning using the Typhon here, getting the level 8 out, because it's really not going to lead to anything. So we're just going to go ahead, summon the Caesar, and then here we're going to summon the Machine X. We're going to set the Headhunt, so just keep that revealed, and that's your end board. So at the end of the turn, guys, you got all your boss monsters out. You got Headhunt for the follow-up. Machina goes in scale. Special summons Ragnarok. Ragnarok special summons the King Tell. It just keeps going from there. So yeah, and on top of that, like I'm saying, if you're going against Tenny Sorcel, how scared are you if you just drop a Lancia and they have to look at this? They can't win. Most decks just can't win if you do a Lancia. They basically just auto scoop. If they're going to try to play through that, just tell them to stop and scoop, because there's no chance of them actually beating it. Like it's no joke, guys. I'm like not even joking. Like if they're going to try and play through something like that, they're just wasting time. Like it's just a waste of time. You might as well just say, hey, you might as well just scoop, dude. So yeah, it's the way Yu-Gi-Oh is. But let's get into the second test hand. Okay, so guys, on to test hand number 2. Like I said, I'm just gonna do 3, maybe 4 of these. I'm a little bit tired. Like our locals went a little bit late, and I just didn't really want to make the time. I didn't plan on playing Yu-Gi-Oh tonight, to be honest. So I'm just kind of trying to fit this all in. I'm probably only going to be getting like 6 hours of sleep tonight, so I'm kind of tired right now. So let's see what we can do, though. Like I said, I've never had this deck really brick. Today when I was playing that last round, I lost game 1 going second, but it was still close. It still was able to push through a bunch of stuff, but it was because I had like Orthros and 4 1-ofs in my hand. I was like, okay, this is like really unfortunate, but is what it is. It was still able to play through like a few 3 interruptions, so I just couldn't win on the bounce back. So yeah, is what it is. So like I said, I just can't do it, or else I'll just brick like that. So let's see what happens here. Okay, looking bad. Okay, guys, do you want me to play this, or do you want me to not play this? So I don't know, like, let's see. If I'm going second, I just really don't think I want to bother with that. So you know what? This is just gonna be a quick test hand. Do I really have to explain this? Fusion summon, rank 6, set 2 Chalice Pass. Yeah, so okay, guys, so that was the first. This is just rank 6 play pretty much, because this actually is Necro Slime. Yeah, not too often a hand like that comes up where you have like the 1-of, and then you have two copies of each card. Every Yu-Gi-Oh player knows what it is, though. So yeah, let's just get into another test hand. Okay, guys, so that was a bit of a weird test hand, so let's see. We're not here to see stupid hands like that, so we're here to see the better hands. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Okay, so we're probably shuffled up enough. I thought I was last time, but I guess I just manipulated all my cards into one spot. So maybe I'll draw better if I just reveal my hand here. So yeah, not so much. But hey, it is what it is. This isn't even like a bad hand, I'll be honest here. But it's still not amazing. This can still grab you the spell. So it's not too bad. And then you can also just stick the contract patented license. So they are kind of XYZ. So against Phantom Knights is still really broken. So what you can do is just bait them with Kepler. Effect search. A lot of people like to hit the Kepler with a hand trap. So it is what it is. But you can go search effect. You're going to grab the Swamp King. And you're going to go effect of the Gates. Gates going to use the effect of search. I'm going to go ahead and grab. Who are we going to grab here? Where is it? Here it is. Griffin. I'm going to grab Griffin. I'm going to use Griffin effect special. And like I said, guys, prime example of why you should be playing the level manipulator. Like this does come up, right? So you don't want to lose because you don't have access to something that is a potential brick, but it really isn't that bad of a brick. It's like what, like, would you rather see gas or would you rather see like a hand trap when you don't have enough of your combo, right? That's where the kind of theory comes in with those cards as well. So scale that you have to scale Rage and Cerberus here because scale 0.6, and then you level manipulate. So you're gonna take 1,000. Sorry for your European players, but you cannot have access to this. But it's not the end of the world. Doesn't come up all the time. So DD Griffin. So effect of DD Griffin on the Pendulum Summon can ditch draw. I do not need a contract with the gate, so I'm gonna ditch this and draw. And it's gonna be a Lamius. So again, not amazing, but it's just food for Swamp King. And this could actually give us access to something pretty good, actually. So we'll see. So I'm gonna go Cerberus to manipulate the level to 4. I'm gonna go ahead overlay, and we're gonna go for the Caesar. We're gonna go ahead, and we're actually not gonna go into tell yet. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna link these two off. And like I said, I combo a different way than what some people know this combo as. So I'm gonna go for Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is gonna use his effect here. So, Gilgamesh, I'm like half asleep. We're gonna use Caesar effect here. So we can just use, so LOL, we already have Swamp King and patent license. So if you wanted to, if you're playing the trap, which I think I have here. So for combo's sake, guys, let's just say we had the trap in our deck, right? So since we already have like every single contract known to man, we're gonna use Caesar here. Typically as the Swamp King in these combos, if you know it. But let's just say we had we were for some reason maining Eternal Darkness. Now Chalice, we couldn't set it, but who cares because we can Eternal Darkness them. And yeah, that's actually kind of nutty. So let's just say we added Eternal Darkness. I'm not actually playing it right now, but if you guys want to, you can play, and something like this can happen, right? So so we're gonna go ahead, activate Swamp King, use the Swamp King effective fusion summon. So I'm gonna use Lamia and the Kepler, and we're gonna go ahead, summon the Genghis. We're gonna go ahead and use this guy to overlay. We're gonna now trigger Genghis because Machina is gonna trigger Genghis. Target's supposed to summon the Caesar. You can either go for the Caesar or the Griffin. Griffin in this case is gonna give you a headhunt and a link. So you're gonna have like link headhunt, which is pretty good, but then you can't search, you can't set this. So we're just gonna do this. We're gonna do it the way I like to do it. So summon the Caesar because the rank 6 is just nuts. So now we can summon King Tell. King Tell's gonna burn him for 1,000. We're gonna link these two off. And we're gonna go into another copy. And then we're gonna go Gilgamesh effect. Now, if you're suspecting you're gonna go against something like Fusion, what you could do is just do something like this. So you can send the Typhon. I believe you can just do something like this. You can go Typhon, and then you could just go, it really depends, right? Like if you wanted to, you could go like Typhon, but you already, actually, you know what? You already went through the third Gilgamesh, so don't do this. Just go for Necroslime here. I'm going too much over my head. I'm gonna keep it simple here. So here it is, Necroslime. You're gonna send Necroslime off the King Tail. Don't just do what I just tried to do because I already went through. I'm going through 3 Gilgamesh in this instance. So we're gonna go ahead, fusion summon. Gonna bring out Genghis. We're gonna XYZ, summon the Caesar, summon the Machina. And we're gonna set this, and we're gonna activate License. Holy, okay, so that's a 1-card combo, right? With a bunch of contracts. What do we have here? Well, if you're playing Eternal Darkness, this is your combo. They're under Patent License, and they're under Eternal Darkness. So they can't Xyz. They straight up cannot Xyz, Fusion, or Synchro, or Target with cards. Like, it's just kind of nuts. And then this does nothing really, but if they get rid of this, then they still have to deal with this. And this is just really good food for Machina. This is just a nutty card. And then on the follow-up, if you have space, his Machina is essentially a suck up for A tier. So how many interruptions? This is actually 10 interruptions, and they're locked out of stuff. So yeah, 1-card combo, pretty good, right? So yeah, that's interesting. So the Chalice is just dead in our hand, but again, Chalice is always live in the hand. That's why I really like Chalice. So yeah, that's essentially a 1-card combo, guys. So let's move on to the last round, the last test hand. Okay, guys. So I just did 2. I just had to shuffle. I think I just did 2 test hands, and I landed on the hand that I wanted to showcase you guys. So I'm gonna draw it out here. Like I said, it only took like 2, but I just want to like kind of go to bed and just kind of like hit something here for an example. I just want to showcase you this one more time. So this is a test hand I just hit, and this is like very ideally to be your best, kind of your best combo here. It's pretty nuts what you can do, and I'm going to showcase you. So it plays around the Nibiru and it just does the whole gist of like headhunt everything. So let's get right into it. So we're going to activate Gate. Gate's going to use effective search, and this is the hand. This is a kind of hand that will play through pretty much any board because there's so many things that can happen. Your Swirl Slime hits Grave. This can pop a spell and trap. This can special summon. This can special summon if you've already normal summoned. It just offers so many. It's like 4 to 5 things happen at the same time. This sends you like another graveyard fusion. It's just not so. So anyways, Gate's gonna add you the Swirl Slime. I'm just gonna try to keep these revealed as much as I can. Swirl Slime is gonna use the effect of fusion with Griffin. You're gonna go ahead, go into a Genghis here. You're gonna go ahead, use Swirl Slime, banish the special summon, not Orthros, because you'll get linked. If you special summon this card, you're gonna get locked into links, or you're gonna get locked into fiends. Summon the Copernicus. Chain like 1 Genghis, chain like 2 Copernicus. So Copernicus is gonna Foolish to do your Necroslime. And the card I actually want to send here. Actually, I don't want to send Necroslime just yet, I believe. You know what? I actually am gonna send Necroslime just in case. I really want to get the rank 6, but I'll show you what I was talking about in a bit. So summon Griffin effect. This is why I like having the second Orthros, because this actually has came up probably 3 or 4 times when I'm doing this combo. Like I'm talking about in real life duels where I already have it and I can just reserve my search for a headhunt, which is just crazy. Headhunt honestly just controls your board so much more. It's honestly worthwhile grabbing because this card alone shuts out your opponent if used wisely. Like I said, against prank kids, sometimes all they have is their normal summon. You just grab their normal summon, they're done. And then it's just not so. So we're gonna normal summon the Orthros because we're on summon 4. We have to normal summon it because of the restriction. So summon Baron as our 5th summon. We're going to, so Baron is our Omni Negation. This is kind of why you should probably have Baron on your side. It's not the end of the world if you don't have it though. So Gilgamesh effect, set scales. This protects you from any sort of interruption. Nibiru, yeah, anything. It's just nuts. So we're gonna put our original scales in here. Ragnarok and the Orthros. Orthros should just clear bodies and reserve a link. I'm gonna Pendulum summon 2, so I'm probably just gonna go Griffin. You can either go Orthros or the Copernicus, doesn't matter. So Griffin's gonna use the effect. Since we have a spare gate, we can just ditch it. So spare gate, we can just ditch it. So we're gonna get rid of the gate. We're gonna draw. So Kepler is good for the follow-up, I guess. We just kind of just traded, but it is what it is. Gonna overlay these 2. And you're going to want to go for both the Caesar and the King Tell. King Tell's effect is going to burn your opponent for 1,000. Going to use Orthros effect, so it's targeting itself, obviously, to lose 1,000, and Orthros going to target. King Tell effect is going to now send the Vice Typhon. So this is why I like Typhon, because you can do a little bit more plays here. Now you can basically just be like, okay, summon back the Genghis. There's a few different things you can do, but you also get access to another contract doing this. So you're gonna go Typhon effect, fusion summon. So you're gonna summon the High King Genghis. You're gonna use Ragnarok effect here. You're gonna target special summon the Caesar, and Genghis triggers target special summon the Genghis here. So basically, what you do now is you go like this, like these two off. Actually, before you do this, since you already have this engraved, just use Necro Slime here. Use this in the King Tell, just get rid of them, I'd say. Go for the Genghis here. Summon the rank 6. You're gonna go for a link summon of these two. You're gonna go ahead and summon the Gilgamesh. So effective Caesar, now that he hits grave, is gonna add you the contract spell. So this is where the contract spell can actually be searched here. Pretty wild if you ask me. So now, what you can do is you can summon Machina over top of the Genghis or the Gilgamesh, whichever one you prefer. If you're playing against a deck that needs to link summon, Patented License will just do that job for you. Activate the license, set Headhunt, pass turn. So Machina has fuel for 4. Omni negation, double summon negation, protection. They are locked out of links and XCs. Essentially, they can only do it once, which makes it basically locked out with this board. And Headhunt alone is just mental. So yeah. Okay, guys. So on the follow-up, also Machina. I can put Griffin in scale, special summon this, special summon the Caesar back. Yeah, nutty things happen, nutty things happen. A thing you could also do too, because I kind of just went to the Caesar a bit early, is that since you link off, right, and these are all kind of in graveyard already, what you could do is, yeah, I don't really know if it's going to happen because you have the, you don't really want to get rid of your Griffin, but what you could do is like, when you destroy a license with Machine X, you can put the King Tell back in, and then when you put this in scale and special summon the Ragnarok on the follow up, you can summon the Caesar, and then again going back into King Tell. Something kind of cool you can do, but you kind of need, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, guys, so I'm kind of just blabbering here. I'm kind of like half asleep. But guys, yeah, that's the combo. Like I said, this deck is super slept on. Like I said, I never included this because I'm just not playing it right now. I'd rather have a way to stop traps. It really depends. Maybe I'll just play this just in case if I don't want like Brave PK just breaking my board. This is just a searchable kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, I think I showcased you guys enough. This combo is nuts. So this deck is just nuts. I hope guys, a lot of guys really give this deck the representation it deserves, because honestly guys, this deck just grinds through so many boards. You know, a lot of people are like trying to play around with like decks like, oh, Dragon Link, like a lot of like just mediocre decks. I really don't think decks like Dragon Link and like even Sword Soul, like Sword Soul's obviously a good deck right now, but honestly guys, like the way they can't gas through a board like this. Like this deck like just has more gas than a lot of decks out there right now. The boards it puts out are way more impressive than the boards any deck can put out right now. This deck should not be slept on and should be very well seen as a tier 2, potentially a tier 1.5 if enough people represent it. But again, it's going to take some, for sure, brain power to be piloting this at a big event, right, and doing well with it. So yeah, guys. Well, I hope you guys like it, and I will see you guys all in the next video, which maybe will be me topping an event, the YCS, in about a couple of weeks. So yeah. Anyways, guys, it is my bedtime, so I got to get off here. So yeah, take care and see you later.